The Waiau River has long had a reputation for being hard on race boats, and today would be no exception. American Ryan Rogers, one of the first casualties when a wire came off his hunting and fishing C-class entry. Worse still, the ensuing fire meant he DNF'd and was forced to trailer through to the start of the next leg.
Oh, so we were going along and we lose power, trying to get it to start, and it was chugging, trying to start. And then we look back, well, we see smoke going up, we look back and we have flames coming up all underneath the front of the motor, coming up the front side, about this high in here. So we jumped back, grabbed the fire extinguisher and pulled the pin and put it out. And here we are. We gotta get that alternator fixed and hopefully make the next leg.
Roger Preston was in normal shortcut mode. But he and son Ben got cold feet and bailed out, only to run aground. Eight other boats continued on, while they eventually pushed their way back to the deep, missing the cut-off. Sean Kelly was one who found himself in the same channel, but not before finding the greenery.
Had a bit of fun above the township there, went through some trees, did a bit of pruning and lost their 360-degree camera. And then somebody might find one while they're fishing one day. Got through all right, past Roger. Roger was high and dry through there, which is a shame, he missed his cut-off. But got it back out onto the mainstream and sort of backed off a bit because we were very fortunate to get out, so yeah, happy to be here.
Riley Smith tried in vain to pass FX 349 for what must have seemed like kilometre after kilometre. So eventually he cut off to the right as well. Only to find the path was blocked.
And we had caught Greg Wilson pretty quickly before Waiau, and we just couldn't get past him, and we had his rooster tail for miles, and we thought we'd take another shoot to try and get past him, and here's Roger Preston floating downstream, and we were stuck between him and the trees and had to do a U-turn and came down and scrubbed some shingle and back into the mainstream again. So the minute we had caught up and gained, we'd just lost, so starting behind him and we'll try and catch him going back down, yeah.
He got past and beat a retreat down the same channel K-Jet had come up, and no sign of Sean's lost camera. Cameron Moore in the quickest piston-powered boat just made the finish. Or should that be made a meal of the finish?
So a bit of confusion about where exactly the finish line was. We thought it was the old ferry bridge. So we went through there and we're both looking around looking for a flag and didn't see one. Switched our brains off, and next thing we know there was a shelf in front of us with a decent sized rock. We hit the rock, boat kited up in the air. When it landed, it whipped the wings off and we turned hard 90 degrees and went into the bank, and the nose just embedded itself in the bank, and then a tree fell down onto the nose. So Adam leapt out and pushed us off and we got going again. The only thing that stopped the boat sinking is the nozzle was embedded down into the river. If the nozzle hadn't been there, the water just would have flowed straight over the back and come in. So we're pretty lucky, a bit gutted that we're, human error, but we're running, so we're happy.
On a positive note, he claimed third fastest for the opening leg. It was John Derry, though, in the freshened-up gas turbine that had carried him to victory in the Worlds last year, who was dominant. The hull had been in need of some TLC, and thanks to some SSS engineering magic, that was proving the difference, banking nearly a minute-and-a-half lead over Mike Pooley. Pooley's recent claim to fame has been through calculated and consistent driving, and today's opening account was no different. With 650 kilometres on offer, this marathon was not going to be won on the first day, as he and Nick McMillan settled in for the next 4 days of racing. In CX, it was Jason Young who set the standard, nearly a minute clear of nearest rival Callum Mackenzie, but both drivers well ahead of the rest of their class. Justin Hill has stepped back up into a smaller A-class field after spending the off-season in CX. He was enjoying the extra speed.
Yeah, it was a bit of fun actually. We got on the back of a few boats and there was a bit of spraying, a bit between my teeth. So we got past them just after the township bridge and then we could sort of run to the gorge. So.
Over the Lewis Pass, teams eventually gathered at Iron Bridge on the Buller for leg 2. Derry led the way. Mike Pooley was next, and the gas turbines were gone, weaving their way toward Westport with everyone else in hot pursuit. Justin Hill's good run came to an end, sidelined mid-stage with a faulty fuel pump, but his cracker time on the Waiau still has him leading A-class from Gareth Munro. Ryan Rogers had overcome his issues of alternator and then carburetor, and he and Bo Value came storming back through the pack. Fellow CX class driver Craig Robinson did his best to keep the American at bay. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Still, Rogers pressed on, determined to get past. Wayne Boys gave Rogers more racing room, but perhaps a bit too much. It all worked in Rogers' favour. Fastest CX raceboat home on the Buller. So, with the first day of competition ending on the coast in Westport, John Derry holds a 2-minute lead over Mike Pooley. But the gas turbines are 6.5 minutes clear of third place Cameron Moore. Jason Young is 4th and fastest in CX, with Sean Kelly's K-Jet rounding out the top 5 fastest boats in the 2018 New Zealand Jet Boat Marathon.